Okay, sit yourself onto your left. Just come into a good cross leg position. And just find your levelness. Just sit with the legs crossed. Just make sure that you feel evenly placed. Hold onto your knees and then lift up into the chest, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Look down at the floor. Ensure that you keep your eyes still in the sockets. So look at something that isn't moving. Filling your lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying them from the top to the bottom. Filling your lungs from the bottom to the top, emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom. Bring your hands into Namaste. Lengthen into your elbows from your armpits so that you've got space in the armpit chest to breathe. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Draw the breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And listen to the breath. Feel the breath as the lungs inflate and deflate. Aim to breathe into the armpit chest. Allow the breath to bring your attention into the present moment. Keeping your eyes still in the sockets. Allow your eyes to look down at the chest cavity, down into the chest cavity to quieten the eyes. Remain attentive to the breath. And with an out breath, draw your chin forwards and down to make contact with your chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin. Spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something, someone, or somewhere that brings positive energy into your existence. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area as you release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Just bring the tip of the index finger with the tip of the thumb gesture of wisdom and peacefulness and physical intelligence that we can carry into our practice. And with an exhalation, raise your head and allow your eyes to softly open. Hold onto your knees. Elevate the heart area up to the ceiling. Drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side. Dig the back hand into the floor or into the cushion that you're sitting on so that you can roll onto the front edge of the seat bones. Draw the abdomen across and the ribs and the shoulders. Observe your body's response to the pose, whether there is resistance or freedom. There's likely to be a combination of both. So if you're observing resistance, then also observe where there is freedom. Come back to the center, hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Observing resistance and freedom and balance in your attention between the two. And then come back to the center. Hold on to your, come off the lift, and then just come on down onto your knees. Just sit back on your heels for a moment. Just observe the sensation of sitting back on your heels. Observe how that feels in your legs. Sometimes it's nice to come onto your knees, get your thumbs right into the backs of the knees, and then draw the calf flesh away from the backs of the knees, rolling the calf flesh out to the side. Just gives you space in the back of your knees, it gives you a little more action space. Press the shins into the floor. Press the shin bones into the floor so that the thighs activate, and then elevate from the thighs up into the chest, up into the heart area. Come forwards, hinging at the hips, and then just wriggle into your seat bones as you extend your arms away, and then finally bring the forehead down. Just breathe even deep inhalations and exhalations. Listen to the inhalation and the exhalation. Press the forehead into the floor, lengthening the forehead skin from the top of the forehead to the bottom, pushing your forehead into the floor and almost drawing the skull forwards so that the skin of the forehead bunches around the eyebrows. Quietening the brain by applying some gentle pressure into the forehead. Keeping the arms extending deeply, spreading your fingers, spreading your palms, squeezing the outer elbows in. So lengthening out of your sleep resistance. So when we wake up first in the morning, often the body is a little resistant. So we can stretch out that resistance. Come up onto your knees, turn your toes under, and then bend your knees as you initially come up into dog down, or if you're not doing dog down, then do dandasana. And then straighten the legs. Get the legs to really activate. Hit the fronts of the thighs into the backs of the thighs. Just observe how your body is feeling at this precise moment in time. One of the most beneficial elements of yoga, I find, is that it brings your attention into the present moment. Sometimes, like this morning, I feel quite heavy this morning, so I'm being dragged into the present moment, and that's okay because I'm allowing it to. But sometimes we feel more willing than others. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Just listen to the breath. Feel how the fronts of the legs, if you push them into the backs of the legs, you give yourself freedom in the shoulders. And then step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position, and then have some blocks for your hands, and then bring your feet as wide apart as the mat, lining the edge of your feet precisely with the edge of the mat so that your heels are hitting out a little and your toes are turning in. Stamp the big toe into the floor. Just creep the big toes a little closer together. Stamp the big toe into the floor and stretch out into the little toe. Lift up into the chest. Elevate the heart area up to the ceiling, keeping the legs straight. And then reach down. Find the blocks underneath your shoulders. Do the cow pose with your pelvis. Lift the backs of the thighs up to the seat bones. Lift the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs. Lift the tailbone to the ceiling. Project from the abdomen to the diaphragm to the collarbone to the chin. If you can go down lower, then do, but not at the expense of losing extension. If you have to bend your knees or round your back to find the floor, then go back to a lift with blocks. If you can reach down to the floor, then do. Just feel where your body is today. Feel where your resistance is. Just listen to the breath. Remember that the breath brings us back into the present moment. You can reach around the backs of your heels, drawing your upper body through the space between the legs, then do. But if there's a bad back or any tension, then just bring your hands back onto the floor. So keep working the legs, keep lifting the seat bones, and then come back into half uttanasana. Feeling that the weight is in your heels, so hit your legs back so that your weight goes into your heels. And then bring your hands into your hips. Bend your knees on the way up if you need to. And then come up into Tadasana. chest, elevating the heart area to the ceiling. Just allow your eyes to settle on something that doesn't move ahead of you. Keeping your eyes still in the sockets. Spread the toes of the left foot. See if you can bring the shorts up a little bit. Helps with this pose. We could do vrksasana at the tree. Have something nearby, or you can do this against a wall. Bend the right foot and bring the right foot as high up into the standing leg as you can. So like I say, if you need something to kind of help you to balance, you can just have something near the back of a chair, or you can do this with your back against the wall. So push the foot into the thigh, push the thigh into the foot, like you're kind of squeezing them together in order to elevate up into the heart area. And then raise your arms, and then raise your arms to the ceiling. Ideally, your palms are parallel to each other. Lift up to the ceiling, push the foot into the thigh into the foot. Keep your eyes just looking ahead at something that doesn't move. It's called a drishti point, and it helps to stabilize the pose. And then release, and then bring the leg back down. Just reset in Tadasana. Just find your balance. Keep your eyes still in the sockets. Spread the toes of the right foot. Lift up the shorts on your right side if you can. Keep that standing leg really firm. And then bring the left foot up into the thigh. And then squeeze the foot into the leg into the foot. The more you squeeze, the more you can push up into the chest, like you're squeezing a tube of toothpaste from the bottom, and the energy goes up into the top. Raise your arms over your head. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, looking at something that doesn't move. Keeping softness in the eyes, softness in the jaw and the tongue and the throat. Vrksasana, the tree pose. And then release your arms, release your leg. And then come back into Tadasana. So, it's a pose that's good for kind of strengthening ankles particularly. Because when you stay, you probably notice that your foot is constantly kind of shifting to maintain your balance. And that is very good. It's like standing on a wobble board, which is something that you'll do in physio if you ever do any damage to your ankles. Lift up into the chest, elevate the heart area to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Bring your arms out nice and wide, in towards the chest, and then step or jump your feet nice and wide. Trikonasana. Turn your left toes in, your right leg and foot all the way out. just feel if your feet are in line. So this heel should be in line with the instep of the back foot. Just have a quick look. Just if you need to lift it up into the chest. And then keeping the legs really straight, come over and find the shin, turning the chest up to face the ceiling. So just feel where you are in 3 dimensions, feeling where the feet are in relation to each other, where the legs are in relation to the feet, where the hips are in relation to the feet. So is that front leg buttock bone, is it kind of more towards the back of the room like this, or can you suck that front hip forward so that it comes in line with the foot, with the right foot, squeezing that right buttock bone forwards, hitting the back leg to the wall behind you. Reach up to the lifted arm so that you open the chest. Be light on the shin, not heavy. Come back to the center, just swap your feet around. Again, just spending a little time just observing where your feet are. Just make sure that they're in the right place. Tighten the kneecaps. Keep both legs dead straight as you reach over and then come down, find the shin. Look up to the ceiling, keeping that front leg straight. So it looks a bit like you're bending that front knee. So try and straighten, try and straighten the leg. I'm only saying what I can see. So see if you can tighten the kneecap. Hit the front of the thigh of that left leg into the back of the thigh. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, turning the chest, reaching up. Listening to the breath. Reach up to that top hand. Feel the pose in 3 dimensions. A bit like a 3D printer works from the bottom to the top. So just scan the body from the feet up into the legs, into the hips, into the spine, into the arms, into the neck, into the head. And then come back to the center, bring the feet parallel, and then step or jump the feet back together, come back into Tadasana. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Softening the jaw, softening the tongue. And then bring the feet hip width apart. If you've got a bad back, rather than coming all the way down, just bring your hands onto a lift like this, palms facing each other, and then stretch out that way. Otherwise, we're going to come into uttanasana, so feet hip width apart, turn your toes in. Raise your arms, thumbs into the crease of the elbow, extend yourself up, keep the back straight as you come forward, and then gently allow the top of the body to hang down, just stretching out your back. Keeping the legs firmly activated, keeping the heels heavy. So if you let your weight come forwards, it goes heavy into the toes or into the toe mounds, hit the shins back, and it becomes heavy in the heels. Is it heavy in the center of the heels, or do you roll your weight out to the outside edge or the inner edge? Turn the fronts of the legs inwards. And there, release your hands down to the floor. Just come into half uttanasana. And then walk your hands forwards. You can let your heels lift as you come into dog down. If you're not doing dog down, then do supta, baddha. Have your feet hip width apart. Have your hands shoulder width apart. Spread in the fingers, spread in the palms. And then bend your knees, sit back down onto your heels. And then lift up into the chest, hinge at the hips, and then come forwards into Adho Mukha virasana. Just wriggling into the hips. Bring the forehead down to the floor. Pushing your hands deeply into the ground, keeping the elbows drawing in towards each other. Lengthen the tailbone to the floor. Lengthen the tailbone down to the heel. And then bring your hands underneath your forehead, push your hands into the floor. And then sit yourself up, coming back into virasana, sitting back on your heels, observing your energy, observing how your energy has changed. Observing the lightness of your energy in the chest and in the arms and in the head and in the legs. Okay, come down onto your seat bones, stretch your legs out in front and then roll over, move the buttock flesh out to the side and then stretch the legs away. Have a belt where you can reach it and have a couple of blocks where you can reach them as well. So just feel that you're sitting on the front edge of the seat bones. Quite difficult to do when you've got your legs outstretched, however, because what you really want to do is this: you want to roll onto the back edge of the seat bones. So just roll onto the back edge of the seat bones. Just see how that feels. See how it feels in the chest. Feel how it feels in the breath. So when you roll off the back end of the seat bones, you sink in the abdomen and your chest sinks, and then taking deep breaths becomes a real challenge. So bring your hands to the sides of the hips and then consciously roll onto the front edge of the seat bones. If you struggle to do that, then sit on a folded blanket. In fact, let's all try it first. Try and find the front edge of the seat bones, raising the heart area up to the ceiling, keeping the legs projecting away. And then get a folded blanket and then sit on that folded blanket. Just sit on a little lift. And then feel the difference in your ability to sit forwards on the front edge of the seat bones. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Get your belt and just throw your belt around your feet and have one end of the belt in each hand. Push the feet into the belt and then press the kneecaps through to the backs of the knees. Pull against the belt and roll forwards onto the front edge of the seat bones. Elevate the heart area up to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Find freedom in rolling onto the front edge of the seat bones. Draw the belly button towards the spine to protect the lumbar, but try and plug the lumbar into the spine rather than let it bulge out. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then just cross the belt over. If you've got a bad back, you're going to just go back to the belt in a moment. Otherwise, raise your arms up. Keep the legs in Tadasana, turning the fronts of the thighs consciously inwards, trying to draw the kneecaps through to the backs of the knees, trying to press the kneecaps down into the floor. Roll onto the front edge of the seat bones, lift up into the little finger side of the hand, spread the palms. And then, as long as there's no problem with your back, come forwards. If there is, then just reach down and find the belt. Keep the head lifted. Keep the head lifted as you come forwards. Keep the head lifted. Keep the arms lifted as you come forwards. Keep reaching beyond your feet if you can. And then take hold of the feet. Or if you can't reach, then get hold of the belt. So coming forwards initially, maybe it kind of affects your breath. Maybe it's difficult to take a full deep inhalation. So push your feet into the hands, push your hands into the feet or the belt, and then lift up into the chest like your head is magnetically attracted to the ceiling. Draw the shoulder blades in. And then try and take inhalations and exhalations. So coming forward with straight legs, pushing the kneecaps into the sockets, keeping the head lifted, bending the elbows out to the side, coming forwards into paschimottanasana. If you can reach around your feet, then do. Coming forwards, lengthening forwards, not trying to bring the head down. As soon as you bring the head down, you round in the shoulders. So keep the shoulder blades drawing in. Keep the chin driving towards the feet. And then just keep coming forwards. And then at the last moment, if your chest is in contact with your legs, then you can bring your head down. But don't be in a rush. I mean, I could probably bring my head down, but I kind of feel like I'm going to lose some extension. So I'm keeping my head lifted and coming forwards a little more. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Keep those legs firmly activated, kneecaps pressing through to the backs of the knees. Pressing your shins into the floor, turning the legs inwards. And then gently come back. Just hold on to the belt again. And just acknowledge that freedom that comes from coming out of a forward bend. Lift up into the chest. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Keep the legs firmly activated, pressing the kneecaps into the sockets, pressing the backs of the knees down to the floor. Drawing the shoulder blades in towards the front chest, lifting up into the heart area. Okay, and then gently release, and then bring your feet, stay sitting on the lift, bring your feet in for baddha konasana. So hold on to the big toes, lift up into the chest. So especially when I'm sitting on a lift, I sometimes feel that holding onto the big toes, it's a useful kind of place to kind of activate the feet and to lift up, but it can feel a little bit closed around the chest. So you could hold around the shins, broadening the collarbones, but keep the feet really firmly activated, like you're still taking hold of the big toes. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, or you can try a belt around like slide it underneath the feet, and then hold onto that. Keep the feet really firmly activated. Lift up into the chest. Lengthen from the inner groins into the inner knees, from the inner knees around towards the outer knees in towards the hips. Out the outer knees towards the outer ankles. And then elevate the heart area upwards. And then release, just bring your legs into swastikasana. So if your knees are really high, sit on a higher lift. If they're up like this, then sit on a higher lift. Ideally you want your knees kind of roughly in line with your hips. So keep walking your feet out to the edges of the mat to bring the knees down low. Hold onto your knees, draw the back chest in towards the front chest. Broaden the chest, draw the shoulder blades in towards the spine. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Come back to the centre. Hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, and then turn to the left. And then very gently come back to the centre. Come down onto your back, down into supta, baddha konasana, soles of the feet together, knees apart, let the knees fall apart. Just hold on to your lower ribs. And focus on filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. Just observing how your breath feels when the chest is in a straight line. Aim to fill the lungs all the way to the top. Empty them all the way down to the bottom. Bring your knees together, have your knees together and your feet apart. So you can stay in supta baddha. You can go back into supta baddha if you prefer not to do the next pose. So we can do chatushpadasana, where we get hold of the lower shins. You bring the feet down onto the floor, close to the seat bones, in line with the seat bones. And then you pull against the shins, and then you turn the tailbone up. And then you come right up onto the tops of the shoulders, and then perhaps you can come into setubandha, holding your lower back, and from there you could kick up into shoulder stand. So just come down onto your back, walk your feet in towards the seat bones. Hold onto the shins. If you can't hold the shins, then you can you can put a belt around your lower feet, your lower shins, and then turn the tailbone in and up, and then gather your shoulder blades together. And from there, you can bring your hands into your back, or you can just stay in chatushpadasana. Just listen to the breath as it enters and as it exits. And try and keep the heels flat on the floor. Try not to be on tiptoes if you can avoid it. And then guide yourself back down onto the floor. And then pull your knees in towards your chest. Just pull your knees in towards your chest. And have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Just a gentle massage on the spine. And then roll onto your right side, push yourself up into a seated position. Get a blanket for your head. And then just come down onto your back. Have the blanket underneath your head. And just for a few moments, just come back into supta baddha. Have your hands on your lower ribs, so that you can feel the motion of the breath. So it's a good hip opener. Listen to your breath, focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Releasing into the floor with each exhalation. And then draw your knees together, have the knees together and the feet apart. And then straighten out your legs. Come up onto your elbows, just make sure you're in a really good straight line right down the centre of your mat. And then allow yourself to release into the floor. Just focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Allow the body to become heavy on the ground. Let go of the muscles of the arms and the legs. Unhooking them so that the body becomes heavy, and out of that heaviness comes a sensation of energetic lightness that radiates from the core of the bones and into the muscles. To the muscles and the organs. Into the flesh and the skin. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness down into the toes and into the fingertips and into the top of the head. to disturb yourself. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, just bringing yourself back into this pose of shavasana. Bend your knees in towards the chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, a gentle massage on the spine. And then gently roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then stretch out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just come into cross legs. Cross legs with your hands in the masti, a final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose, down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists bring to the body and to the mind. Draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though you've really given yourself a good old stretch and you've found your energy for your day. So thank you very much for joining me.